Can I just say, this giant beanbag is ridiculously comfy. If you want to see the Argyle dress finished, then subscribe to the channel. So, in case you haven't noticed, today we are ripping out the Argyle dress. Now, why have I suddenly decided to do that when I have other projects I could be getting on with? Well, it's extremely wintry outside, so I thought I would make a start on the winter dress. So here we are. If you've seen one of my previous vlogs, I think it's the success and fail vlog, you'll have seen this dress before, and in case you haven't seen it, I started this last year, just before Christmas, and it was the first dress that I've ever attempted crocheting. And of course I picked the Argyle pattern, didn't I? Jumped in with both feet there, didn't I? As I like to do. I do like a challenge. But it never got anywhere. I didn't even get to do sleeves. I didn't get that far. And it was all in bits, which are now wound onto these. That will definitely come in handy when we go to redo this dress, because my intention, now that I've made more than one dress, I've got a better idea how to do it. It should be a lot quicker, and it should be in much better shape than the first attempt. So how are y'all getting on? Is it particularly gloomy today though? It's quite dark and just constant, you know, that light rain you get, and quite cold. I think it's, what is it, about 12 degrees or something today. On the upside, I have a new book coming that is relating to yet another hobby that was put on ice. I think I mentioned it in the slip stitch video, the whole maths thing. I know a lot of people find that dull, but I think it's actually quite fascinating, and obviously it's useful. I mean, you can't do anything without maths, can you? If you want to do crochet, you need to know a bit of maths. If you want to build a house, you need to do a bit of maths. It's everywhere. If you want to do a bit of gardening, you need to know a bit of maths. So we can't really escape it, so it is very useful. This is quite therapeutic, this ripping out actually. Another season, another jumper dress. But yes, the maths. So I saw this book recommended on another YouTube channel, and apparently it's really good because it explains maths in a more inspirational and palatable way. I'm intending on restarting the maths in January, but if I'm going to do that, then I need to practice now, because it's quite fast paced and you really do have to focus on it. So I'm looking forward to getting that, and it has some maths problems in it, so that'll be really useful. So I quite fancy the thought of, I don't know, sitting with a wee coffee or whatever. Maybe I'll go to a coffee shop just to get a change of scene and sit with my wee maths problems. If I can't get out to a coffee shop, then obviously I would stay in if it's icy, because I can't go out in ice. So yeah, it's a while since I've done a vlog, isn't it? It certainly feels like it. I'm just, as you might have guessed, and as I keep saying, I'm struggling a bit with the whole getting into a rhythm structure thing. There's just been too much going on this year. But what I was thinking was, I do have to lift my game a bit. See what you think? Well, my aim has always been, as you may or may not know, to do a crochet vlog on a Wednesday and a Sunday. But on top of that, I think a different subject of short on alternate days. So say for instance, a Monday could always be a natural skincare short, and then maybe a Tuesday might be a gardening short or something, and then maybe a Thursday might be a wee maths short. I can't remember whether I mentioned it before or not. I did used to run my own remedial massage business, both Swedish massage and remedial massage, which are two different techniques. But you use a lot of different techniques in remedial massage treatment, so things like trigger point therapy and PNF, I believe it, if I remember correctly, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. It's a form of stretching, really good trackside or at an event. Say your hamstrings are a bit tight, it's like magic. So if you're doing an event, you can go straight into the event and get much better performance. It's all really interesting stuff. It might sound boring to listen to, let me know, but anyway, I digress. My main reason for mentioning all that was my bread and butter, was the Swedish massage and the remedial stuff. But on top of that, I used to do a lot of energy treatment. So Tui Na was a very popular one, which is Chinese massage. That's part of the traditional Chinese medicine. And that was always really popular, especially with Chinese people. I had a few Chinese clients that used to enjoy it. And what else did I do? I did Reiki. That was always very popular as well, and some crystal treatments. I also gained sound therapy. There was loads of stuff I did. Because the thing is, if you're running a business and all that, you have to do what's called your CPD hours. It's continuous professional development. So you have to do that to stay current and licensed or insured, and if you're in Britain. One of them again was tarot as well. And for anyone that's not sure about tarot or doesn't know what it's really about, it's more of a guidance thing. So it doesn't make things happen. A lot of people are scared of tarot because they think it makes things happen. It actually doesn't. What it does is pick up on the energies of the moment. It's really your intuition, if I'm honest, but it can tell you possible paths. It's a guidance tool. It can tell you, well, if you go down that path, then this might happen. If you go down that path, then this might happen. And you can ask for advice and you'll get different advice and things like that. So, but I just like playing with cards. I always find it, and I like the artwork on a lot of the decks, and it is good for developing your intuition as well. The point of me saying all that about different therapies is that could be another avenue for the shorts, couldn't it? One Friday I can maybe do sound therapy, for instance, or maybe a short collective 3-card tarot reading or something for my subscribers, you know, my collective, our collective. Which I think would be a fun experiment, because you could let me know whether it resonates or not. So I might try that. I did do a short tarot reading early on. It's in one of my early videos, but I didn't pursue that because, do you know, interestingly, it was the crochet that was popular, so I just carried on with the crochet, and I was getting a lot from the crochet anyway, still am, my bread and butter. But I thought it would be fun to add in other elements, which it really is getting dark now. But as I say, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, because let's not forget this YouTube lark, this is a two-way street. Much as I do enjoy making videos when I've got the time and energy to do it, obviously, but I also like to hear from whoever's watching me. I very much appreciate the support I've been given so far. I think on balance, we've not made the September monetization goal, have we? I think that was a bit ambitious given everything else I was dealing with anyway, wasn't it? Let's aim for, what about April next year? We could try for that. By the time next spring comes round, I'll be in a far better position, fingers crossed, to try and start rebuilding my life after everything that's happened. If you wonder what I'm referring to, go back and watch I think it's titled, is it Cauda Equina or Sciatica? It's relating to my spinal injury. I'll warn you, if you do want to watch that, it's not the most entertaining vlog. It's more, I think, for my benefit than anyone else's. I think it was something I just had to get off my chest at that moment. Be warned also that my actual scans are in it. If you're squeamish, probably don't watch it, because it shows you the whole disc thing and everything. It shows you the injury that started all this saga in the first place. But yeah, another reason that I'm speaking about the holistic therapies, obviously I can now focus on my health a wee bit more, thank God, finally. So I've been thinking about different therapies. Now, I've not tried Indian head massage before, so I can maybe try that one. Let me know if you've tried it. So I'm thinking definitely some Reiki. Did I mention I used to do Reiki as well? Do you know the funny thing, when I was running my business, I found that Reiki and crystal therapy was actually quite popular with men and women, obviously, but I just noticed that I was surprised by how many men were booking for maybe Reiki or crystal treatment, and quite encouraged by it actually. But yeah, I've worked with energy for years, even before I had my business, but I haven't worked with it for quite a long time. I need to get myself sorted. You can't pour from an empty cup, can you? I think my aura must be, I think it fell out of my handbag. My aura must look like a fishing net right now. So I'm thinking maybe Indian head massage. Obviously normal massage, Swedish, because my shoulders and neck are just so tight with all the stress that I was under. And I think maybe aromatherapy, because the essential oils, now I know this from the skincare, and I do know that essential oils are extremely beneficial for you. Not just the scent of them, but the scent is a huge part of it, because molecules in the oil go straight to the brain. So you get the effects from the scent, but also it goes into your skin. So you actually get the constituents from the plant that are in the oil. So it is very good for you, essential oil. Used in moderation, don't go mad on it, and don't ever put essential oil onto your skin neat. You must dilute them with a carrier oil for anyone that doesn't know. Now I'm thinking also, this would be interesting, again I would count this as an energy treatment, but I'm thinking maybe some reflexology, if I can get it. For anyone that doesn't know about reflexology, you can work with the hands as well as the feet. It's basically a map of the body on either your hands or your feet, so you can map your spine on the foot. But I had thought that might be an interesting experiment to see if I can get any joy from, you know, I wondered if it would maybe have an effect on the damage to the spinal cord, if I could encourage through different energy treatments or the nervous system to find different, well, we call them neural paths. I know that you can create new neural paths in the brain, certainly. Whenever you do something new, you're creating a new neural path, and then every time you do the thing after that, you're strengthening that neural path. That's why it's important to make sure you're feeding the right wolf. If you have lots of bad habits, clues in the name, it's a habit, but if you do things that are not serving you, shall we say, every time you do that, you're strengthening the neural pathway, so you're making it harder and harder for yourself to stop it. Better if you can do more positive things and build those neural pathways and strengthen those. So anyway, I was kind of hoping that maybe some reflexology might help with encouraging my spinal cord to find new pathways, since obviously there's a bit of the spinal cord that's crushed. I mean, that's, once it's crushed, the damage is done. You're not going to straighten that out again. But at least if it was possible, I don't know if it's possible, I'm just thinking this, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what started me off on my wanting to talk about holistic therapies. I need to book myself some treatments, don't I? Definitely some facials. Might try dermaplaning. Has anyone tried that before? I really do need to get a new lease of life, restore my aura so I can begin to function again. I know I've done Reiki in the past as a therapist, but if you imagine, it's a bit like bump starting a car. My battery's a bit flat right now, so you've got an alternator, or you certainly used to have an alternator in a car, and if your battery's flat, granted the alternator can charge a battery, but the engine has to be running. So if the battery is flat, you're going to have to get a bump start until you can get the engine running, and then the alternator will charge the battery once the engine's running. So I think Reiki would be good for that. Recharge my battery, and then I'll be able to do my own Reiki after that. High time I got some hampering. So that's my aim over the next few weeks, at least until the ice and snow comes in, and then I'll have to stay in, obviously. That would be far too dangerous. This is taking so long, I might need to come back to you. Thought I would jump on, as I normally say. Touch base as it were, you know, it's been a wee while, it certainly feels like ages. Since it's getting ridiculously dark now, I think I'll leave the vlog here. I'm going to go and lie down, or I might lie down on the giant beanbag. My back is beginning to get really sore now. I don't like this position at all, and I think I've sat for far too long. Look at all this, look at that amount of wool. That is ridiculous, isn't it? Honestly, I don't know what to say about that. It's like a wig. It looks like I could wear that as a wig at Halloween, couldn't I?